Pleasant morning to everyone. I am Jessibel Edan from BSIT 3A BPO. And now, I will be presenting to you the Capstone project. So, keep on watching! Capstone project as a thesis and a research work. So, based from TED Memorandum Order Number 25 series of 2015, the thesis or capstone project are required for candidates for graduation in all computing programs. So, both thesis and capstone projects are terminal project requirements that would not only demonstrate a student's comprehensive knowledge of the area of study and research methods used, but also allow them to apply the concepts and methods to a specific problem in their area specialization. So, what is a thesis? It is a report of a scholar upon some piece of research which he or she has completed. In the area of computing, it is defined as a technical report on a systematic investigation of a problem that can be solved using computing. It may include a solution, an approximate or partial solution, a scientific investigation, or the development of results leading to the solution of the problem. So, a capstone project, an undertaking appropriate to a professional field. It should significantly address an existing problem or need. An IT capstone project focuses on the infrastructure or IoT application or processes involved in implementing computing solution to a problem. Okay, let's proceed to the responsibilities of a capstone project student. So, upon enrollment in the thesis or capstone project, the researcher has the sole responsibility of conceptualizing, undertaking, monitoring, and writing the thesis report. It is therefore necessary for a researcher to learn the necessary skill and competency in the conduct of a research. Although there will be an assigned advisor who will guide the student researcher in the conduct of the study, it is not the advisor's responsibility to feed everything to the researcher, because this defeats the purpose of teaching a researcher to be independent and to be competent. Besides, it will be the researcher who will present the result of the study in the final oral defense and not the advisor, by Delima P. and Delima E. 2012, A Guide to Thesis Writing. Okay, let's proceed to A, which is project duration. So, the thesis or capstone project will be completed within 2 semesters, Capstone Project 1 and Capstone Project 2. In case that the student will not be able to comply the requirements within the prescribed semester, he or she will be given another 2 semesters as extension to complete the capstone project. Failure to complete within the 4 semesters duration, the student will be required to re-enroll Capstone Project 1 and Capstone Project 2, considering that the average lifespan of a software is 3 years. And in case the student will pass thesis or Capstone Project 1 but will fail to complete Capstone Project 2 within 2 semesters, the students will be required to re-enroll thesis or capstone project 1 and thesis capstone project 2. Okay, let's proceed to B, which is project group composition. So the capstone project group will be composed of most 3 members depending on the complexity of the project. Students will be allowed to choose their group members, but still the subject teacher has the final decision to approve the said group depending on the capability of the members of the group. Let's proceed to C, which is project advisor. So, the dean or program chair is given the authority to select the student's advisor and panel members based from the faculty members' competency and expertise on the capstone project topic. Next is the selection of advisor for the capstone project will be limited to those faculty members from the ICT. Appointment of advisor from other department, colleges, institutions, universities will be allowed on a case basis. The next bullet is contract of service. Faculty members may handle capstone project advisorship provided that there be a permanent faculty member who will be a co-advisor to ensure that there will be somebody who will assume the advisorship once the contract of the former is terminated. And the last bullet is the maximum member of capstone project advisorship is 5 per faculty member. Okay, let's proceed to D, which is panel composition. The dean or program chair will assign qualified and competent faculty members who will constitute the defense panel. The defense panel shall be composed of the following. First is chairman, preferably the dean or program chair or a faculty with at least master's degree. Second, members, one may be a content expert. Let's proceed to E, which is duties and responsibilities of the panel chairman. The first bullet is brief the proponents or researchers about the proposal hearing oral defense program during the actual proposal hearing or oral defense respectively. The second bullet is issue the verdict. The verdict is an unanimous decision among the 3 members of the thesis or capstone project proposal hearing or oral defense panel. Once issued, it is final and irrevocable. And the third bullet is nominate a thesis or capstone project for the outstanding research or capstone project award. Okay, let's go on to F, which is duties and responsibilities of the panel members or content expert. The first one is validate the endorsement of the advisor. The panel serves as internal auditors, putting some form of check and control on the kinds of thesis or capstone project being approved by the college. Next is evaluate the deliverables. Next, recommend a verdict. Next is listen and consider the requests of the advisor and or the proponents or researchers. And the last one is nominate a thesis or capstone project for the outstanding research or capstone project award. Next is G, which is duties and responsibilities of the project thesis or capstone project subject teacher. The first one is post schedules, proposals, hearing and oral defense guidelines, requirements, guidelines, and other announcements. Next is furnish every member of the proposal hearing and oral defense panel with all the necessary capstone project documents before the proposal hearing or oral defense. Next is file at least one copy of the proposal, hearing and oral defense panel's evaluation, including revisions and the revised and approved deliverables at every stage of research or capstone project. And the last one is submit collated grades of students under his or her section for that term. Okay, next is H, which is duties and responsibilities of the advisor. So the first one is ensures that the study proposed by the students conforms to the standard of the college and has immediate or potential impact on the research trust of the university. Next is guides the research or capstone project students in the following tasks while in the proposal stage. Next is defining the research problems or objectives in clear specific terms. And the next one is building a working bibliography for the research. Next is identifying variables and formulating hypotheses, if any. And next is determining research design, population to be studied, research environment, instruments to be used, and the data collection procedures. Next is meets the team regularly or at least twice a month. Note that the team must seek proper appointment to answer questions and help resolve impasses and conflicts. Next is advisor must remind the proponents or researchers to do work properly. The next one is reviews thoroughly or deliverables at every stage of the research or capstone project to ensure that they meet the department's standards, and the advisor may also require his or her proponents researchers to submit progress reports regularly. And the next one is recommends the proponents or researchers for proposal hearing and oral defense. And the advisor should not sign the proposal hearing notice and the oral defense notice if he or she believes that the proponents or researchers are not yet ready for proposal hearing and oral defense respectively. Thus, if the proponents or researchers fail in the proposal hearing or oral defense, it is partially the advisor's fault. Next is clarifies points during the proposal hearing and oral defense. Next is ensures that all requirements revisions are incorporated into appropriate documents and or software. Next is keeps informed of the schedule of research or capstone project activities, required deliverables, and deadlines. And the next one is recommends to the proposal hearing and oral defense panel the nomination of his or her research or capstone project for an award. And the last one is a special advisor. He or she is responsible to be a provider, an encourager, a dictator, a pushy boss, a connector, and an employment agency. Okay, let's proceed to J, which is thesis or capstone project presentation. as recommended by the Philippine Society of IT Education, research committee public presentation is required. It should be a school-based presentation open for public viewing. And the last one is K, which is thesis or capstone project turnover. So, project turnover is limited to the software developed, not only including the equipment used during implementation as stated in the MOU. In the event that the student is willing to donate the equipment, it must be stated in the MOU.